Hi everyone, welcome back to the video. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Here in Missouri it's kind of warm outside. I wasn't expecting this temperatures, but I am enjoying it. So today I thought we'd do a holiday eye together, and since we have mature eyeballs, we're gonna break it down on how we can use glitter and still make it look appropriate and beautiful for our age. So I'm gonna start with some good primer base, and I have really been loving this Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I think it is better than my Tarte primer that I always talk to you guys about. Now, of course, oh, here it is. Better than the 12-hour primer from Tarte. This Too Faced takes the game. And remember, when you're using primer, it just takes a very small amount. Lay it down onto the lid and make sure you bring it out to the side, because when you're fluffing out shadow, you don't want to stay in the eye. You want to use all of the space. We're trying to create a space that we may not actually have. So we're going to go outside of the eye area itself. We're not going to keep our shadow inside this zone. So then we just want to go in with a great blending brush, and of course, as always, I am going to say the best blending brush is the Jaclyn Hill 30. And when you're thinking about holiday, you're thinking about shimmer, glitter, silver, gold, and some of these Too Faced palettes are some of the very best holiday palettes you can get your hands on. So we're going to start with the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I'm going to kick off the excess, and now I'm going to start by laying down just a nice white shadow over our primer. And we're washing the color everywhere because we want all the other eyeshadows to blend and move seamlessly. And we want to use our entire space, because when you have a hooded eye or very loose skin up here as you age, which happens, is completely normal. I was talking to a young lady about there was no book written about what happens to you when you age. I mean, why do I have to have a waddle? I don't like it. And even if you're a normal body weight, your neck skin loosens up. It's not fair. Like, I don't like it. It's not hot. It's not pretty. It's not something I want. But there it is. So either you get it cut off or you live with it. And that's what I'm trying to do. Gonna live with it for a while. So we're gonna move into So Buff. I think this is the color right here on the palette. And we are going to start our transition phase. And when you're doing holiday looks, remember, take your time. If you only have 30 minutes to get ready, this is not the kind of look you want to be trying to do, because colors need time to build and time to blend, and you want to have plenty of time to build and blend. You don't want to be rushed for time, because the more colors that you're building and blending, your eyes will reflect all of your hard work. Now I'm going to move into the Cocoa Truffle, and we're deepening the color that I'm blending with, and we're starting the eye look to get color and depth to the eye. And I'm pulling this clear up to my brow, especially the front of my brow. I want that color fluffed all the way up. I'm not necessarily taking it into the arch of my brow, but definitely to the front, because This helps me create open space all the way around my eye. So we leave the arch open and fluff color clear up to the very front of the brow. We're doing back and forth motions. Blending it out, building your colors, taking your time. All these eyeshadows were designed to blend together. And as you see, as I go, the color just gets deeper and richer. Okay, I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to go down to a very tapered blending brush. Remember, even if you go to Walmart and buy a brush set, just look at the heads of the brushes. Every brush will do something different depending on its shape. It's not necessarily how much money you're spending on the brush, but although I do find personal experience that brushes that have a little bit better quality actually help you do your eyeshadow. It's kind of like, what kind of car are you driving? What kind of tools are you using? If you're an artist and you love beauty, you love makeup, invest in either a nice brush set. You want to make sure you know exactly why you want a flat brush, a round brush, a blending brush. This is a tapered brush. This is to be put down in these very small areas of the eye. And that's why it's made the way it is. Now I'm going to just start getting down low and on my outer corner. And I'm going to deepen it up and move it out. I'm still using the chocolate truffle color. And we're just making it build up and out. We want the front part of the eye to catch light and the outside of the eye to have the darkness. This builds your eye area up so it looks like you have a giant eye when you do. And this is when I always grab a pencil brush. This is a Morphe E36. And I start swinging color underneath my eye, and then I want to connect the top and the bottom together, and I'm swinging out. And yes, if it looks crazy when you're first doing it, don't sweat it, don't freak out about it. Just lay down your color, because you're always going to grab a brush and blend. It won't end up looking crazy, even if it starts out looking crazy. You can carry your color under your eye as low as you want to go, and don't let it make you afraid, because I get the fact that it's very intimidating to drag color down, especially I have puffy areas down here, and I'm not trying to accentuate the fact that I have a mature eye, but when you drag your colors down, I'm actually opening up the white space of my eye, and I'm making myself look younger, because what do young people have that I don't? They have perfectly clear eyes. The whites of their eyes are very clear. The redness and puffiness, this stuff doesn't start until much later in life. So I want my eyes to be huge, white, and big, because it helps me maintain a youthful appearance. And I'm using my pencil brush to kind of define my space that I want to work in. And I need this very tight, small brush for the details. Now, this is where I want to grab some glitter glue, and of course it's Too Faced. And I'm just going to use a very small amount and just tap onto the front of the eye, because when we're using shimmers and glitter, it kind of likes to move around. So lay down some nice glitter glue, just don't go crazy. It just takes a very small amount. I've probably had the same tube for 7 months, and I'm still using it. That's how little it takes, and I use it quite often. So just use tapping motions until you feel the glue is tacky. And of course, I grab my wipe because I don't want it all over my hands. And now I'm going to use this beautiful silver color here, or the best way to do it. I can feel the anatomy of my eye much easier with my finger, and the color payoff from the shadow is much bigger when you use a finger. And I'm using both hands that God gave me, because when you try to reach across and hold and use one hand to kind of tap shadow, it doesn't work as well as if you just go ahead and use both hands. And feel your eye and press the shimmer right down into the glue. And then we'll move to a flat brush for packing. I'm gonna grab my Fix Plus, MAC Fix Plus. I couldn't live without this stuff. Spritz your brush. I kind of tap off just to make sure it's not like drowning in Fix Plus. And then I tap into my shimmer, and I'm just going to get right into the part where my finger can't. And I'm gonna tap up. So when we're working with shimmers, you never want to pull and drag. Remember, tap is the game when it comes to these kind of eyeshadows. And make sure you're tapping it into the inner corner, because this is where we want all the light to be in our eye look. And I'm using silver because it's holiday, and I kind of use that for my holiday party, and it turned out so good. I was so happy with my holiday makeup. And I did do a red lip. You guys would have been so proud of me. Because I'm not known for good at putting on a great lip in my videos. I know it's like one of my weaknesses. I'm like all worn out by the time I get everything else. I'm like, lips, who needs a lip? So now we want to take the tapered blender brush, and we're going to go back into the lighter brown, and we're going to start to blend the rough edges so you don't see the transition as much. So you're going to get right on top of that shimmer where you tapped it and just move back and forth. And then I'm really putting this brush fits right into my crease because it is so small, and allows me to blend the shimmer right on into my look. Okay, I know I'm like blocking you guys. No, I want to make sure that my inner corner is what it should be. And this is a Morphe 213. And I'm tapping into the silver. And I want to bring it down and around in a much bigger way than it was. I didn't like how it was looking. So from a distance, you want to make sure light, light, dark, dark. And try to work with your anatomy. Know your dimensions, because it will help you in your makeup application if you work with, so you know how to highlight what you want to highlight and kind of pull back the parts of your anatomy and your eyes and your face that you don't want. You know, it's not like your shining feature. Like, I don't have a good jawline, so I definitely want to put darker colors down here when I'm bronzing, because I want it to pull back. I don't want it to come forward. And in a mature eye, where we're loose in this area, and it's very noticeable, the light in the inner corner helps you from a distance look like your looseness isn't as much. So remember, we're creating a picture of healthy, current, how do I want to say it? Gorgeous eyes. That's what I want to say. Gorgeous eyes. All right. So now I want to put this in my brow bone. And I try to match my brow bone to my inner corner. And don't drag your highlighter clear to the front of the brow. Make sure you're past the front part and you're only highlighting the arch section. I used to, no kidding, and I did it for many years, highlight my entire area, but then I figured out that that is just not what helps my eye shape or my eye dimensions per se. It wasn't helping me. It was taking away from the things I was trying to create. And then take your big fluffy, go back in and just rub over the top of it with no extra product. Because you don't want it to be like, oh, here's a strip. Oh, you highlighted your brow bone. You want it to be more blended. So, oh, yeah, put it right in front. Okay, so now what I want to do is you can either use eyeshadow. There's a great black in here, and let's just do that. Now that I've changed my mind, I'm going to grab a very small eyeliner brush, and I'm not going to grab that. I'm going to grab a flat-headed brush that is used for eyeliner, if I can find it. I found it. Okay, this is the Jaclyn Hill 43, and it is completely flat. It looks strange. It looks like, why do you need to own that? But trust me when I say you need to own it. I own 2 of them. You can tap into the black and then just stamp it along your lash line. It's not a harsh look as a liquid liner, although I love liquid liner. I just wanted to use the black and show you guys that you never have to own a liquid liner if you don't want to. You can just use all these palettes. My eyelash line with just basically a tapping motion. You don't want it to be like one line, because liquid liner will give you that one sharp line, but this brush and using your shadow is a more diffused look, of more softer. So if you like the softer, which I like both. I like harsh eyeliner and I like soft. It just kind of depends on my mood or what I'm doing, where I'm going. When I went out to my holiday party, I used liquid liner and I got a really like eyeliner. Now I'm going to use this to have a more smoky kind of liner, and I'm just stamping. And yeah, it's not easy when you're tight into the corner of your eye, but just rest the brush right on your lash line and just move it around and it will just get on there. And you can also place this brush right on the bottom and hug the very lash line just as tightly as you can, and don't try to blend it. Just use this brush to stamp color, and don't worry about trying to make it look perfect, because you have to grab a smaller brush to move both colors under your eye together. Then that's the way you make it look like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about, Trish. Okay, now I'm gonna move. I like that. I like the way that's looking. I'm gonna move to the face, and remember, don't be afraid to bronze. I see a lot of people my age at work. I work with them, whatever. Nobody bronzes their face. The face remains one color of foundation. Remember, that's your detriment. You don't ever want to walk out the house with just one flat color of foundation, because it makes you look rounder and it adds to our age. We have things we need to do. So, you know me in the hourglass. I'm going to finish bronzing with Luminous Bronze Light. Is there anything better on the planet? I don't think so. Now, remember, cheeks. Where do you want it? You want it under that cheekbone, because we're trying to make my face look round. I'm bronzing up under my chin because I want to hide the waddle. Now we're going to push it into my hairline, because I'm creating a shape. So I'm not one color and I'm not one shape. Especially if you're going to a party and it's at night, remember to get a little bit heavier handed. Go crazy. Just get color in there and just move and go, because you can fix anything with a little powder and a big fluffy brush. So I'm using Too Faced, the Face and Eye Palette. I love this thing. I showed this to you guys on another video. You can use it wet or dry. I am adoring this Sugar Peach blush. I have been using it every single day. I used it at my holiday party, and it has a shimmer to it, which is just exactly what mature faces need, in my opinion, and go crazy. And I have been trying this new thing where I move the blush up a little bit higher. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. But what makes it is when you're done getting crazy with your blush and it looks like you have 4 pounds too much, I've really been loving taking my Hourglass powder and just moving it all over my face. It really just kind of completes the look. Okay, now it looks like I have like 10 pounds too much blush, 40 pounds too much bronzer, you know. Now this is all gonna move it together. I've shown you guys this hundreds of times. Luminous Light, Hourglass. I will never not have this in my makeup kit. Use a giant brush when you're using it. Get crazy, because it won't look cakey. It doesn't cling to things it's not supposed to. This is an E1 Morphe, and I'm just going to put it all over my whole face. Move it down your neck. Make sure that you're one together with your bronzing, your foundation. You don't want to end here and then be another neck color. And I'm very fair skinned, but I am very diligent about making sure that my foundation is just a titch darker, and I'm just not ending here. I just want to kind of move it down my neck. I don't get crazy and go clear into my décolletage. I just make sure it's moving down my neck. Now, I want to sculpt my nose a small amount. I'm not particularly fond of my nose shape, as we have talked about before. But remember, if your nose is too wide or you think it's long, any kind of issues with your anatomy can be corrected with shade and light. That's the joy of makeup. And it isn't a gift to the youth, it's a gift to everybody. You can do the same thing that a 25-year-old does. The only difference is you're changing the skill to match your anatomy at 50 or 45, but it's still the basic concept. So I don't like my nose because it has a very wide section to it up high. It's just not my favorite thing about my face. So what I do is go clear into almost my eyeball and drag my bronzer down my nose. And don't go clear to the side. Try to stay very tippy top, because otherwise the illusion will not be seen if you get your lines too far down your nose. Now, to stop the nose, literally just take the bronzer over the edge. And you think, oh, this looks like shit. It does. So, blend with a big brush. You can use powder, you cannot use powder, because 9 times out of 10 your big brush is already going to have just a tiny bit of product on it. And just stamp your lines. You don't want to get rid of them completely, just in the harshness of them. And then you'll find it's much easier to look at. And I had to practice quite a bit to kind of get my nose contour. To me, it was intimidating. To me, I thought, I put it on and I was like, why am I doing this? I mean, only 20-year-olds put contour all over their nose. And then I'm like, well, wait, I can do this. And I practiced a few days, and then I looked at it a while, and I finally kind of figured out where I was comfortable with it and where I wasn't. And I have been trying this new technique, and I'm just going to pass it on to you for your holiday parties. Get a great eyebrow brush. This is an Anastasia brush. It's one of my favorite eyebrow brushes. and tap into the same kind of eyeshadow color you were using and just fluff it through the brow just ever so slightly. And what it does for you is help the brow not look very harsh, and it helps the hairs that's left, in my case, look a very bit more together, more seamless. I know it sounds crazy, but I saw another lady doing it and I thought, well, I need to try that. And it is a thing, and it does work, and it looks very, very nice. It looked good in all my pictures at my holiday party, and you could definitely tell my brows were looking a bit different than they normally do. Now, lips. Okay. I wore a bright red lip, and I ordered Kissmas from Laura Lee. Love her products. Her liquid lips are amazing. I'm not a fan of the dry part of liquid lips, so I always add a gloss. Now, I can recommend you could use a liner, you can skip the liner, but this doe foot applicator on her liquid lips is very tapered, and it's very, very precise. It even has a kick tip at the very top. So, if you're ordering liquid lips that have these very precise applicators, for me, you don't need a liner because it dries down very, very quickly and it doesn't move around. These very precise applicators allow precise application. Outer edges, because this does dry down. Make sure that you're drawing line, not worrying about filling in the color per se. We're just getting kind of the shape that we want. If you want to overdraw, then you can overdraw with your applicator. So I'm trying to go low. I'm talking as impossible. When you do this, you have to make sure every kind of section is filled in. All the corners, the cracks, the middles, the crevices of the lip. If it's not, when you're talking at a party and someone's very close to you, they'll be like, is there something wrong with her lipstick? Yeah, and you don't want that. So, kind of go more to the inner part of the lip than you think you have to, just to make sure that you got it all. And I am loving this Kissmas color, Laura Lee Los Angeles. Oh my gosh, that was my first time putting it on. I wore a Milani liquid lip to my party. Milani is a very good liquid lip, but Laura Lee is one of my favorites, and I love that. Dries down really quick, and of course it's me, so in my opinion, a mature face cannot handle just a matte down liquid lip without any sheen. I think it really kind of accentuates the fact that our lips aren't as full as they once was. Now, this is a personal opinion. If you can just slap a liquid lip on and go for it, then I say do it all day. But in my opinion, I always want to just add a little bit of shine to the liquid lip because I don't want to be 100% matte. I want to have just a little bit of gloss to the look. And maybe I got it everywhere. Okay. I think I can't tell. I see the shadow. And this is what I do all the time when I wear liquid lips. I just use my pinky. I don't necessarily put the gloss applicator all over because I'm trying to save it from contaminating the bottom. Now, I think that is good. I could put on mascara and do all that jazz for you guys, but I think that's okay. We all know how to put on mascara, okay? The only thing I'll say is make sure you put more mascara on the outer edge than you do the inner edge, because you always want the heavierness to the outside. I wear lashes to almost everything I'm going to, besides for work. So I do recommend that you try lashes, try all sizes, try the very small ones, try a large one, walk around your house, try on a Saturday, try on a Sunday, buy a lash for $4 and buy some glue for $1 if you're not familiar with them, and try to practice, see what sizes and shapes fit your eye and your face the best. I use very small lashes because I don't have giant eyeballs, and what it does for me is gives me much more volume in my lash on the outer edge especially. I buy lashes made for hooded eyes. I always recommend the Sephora hooded eye lash. It's shaped great, and it's great for mature faces. So I hope you guys like this look for a holiday. I think it is very age appropriate, it's classy, it's shiny, it's shimmery, it's everything that us girls like, sparkle, sheen. For being here today and watching this video, I really appreciate your time. And if you guys have any questions about holiday looks or everyday looks, it really doesn't matter what your question is to me. We are on holiday topics because it's the time frame. Just tag me below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell. And I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video.